Hello and welcome to another edition of Tatler Talks. My name is Anton San Diego, the editor-in-chief of Tatler Philippines. Thank you for joining us. First off, the November issue of Tatler is available on Magster, which you can download for free. And in print, it is on all in the leading bookstores, or you can email Mark at Tatler Philippines. You know, in the November issue of this magazine, that we have a Tatler Black Book, which is sponsored by HSBC, and it's a partial list of the best restaurants, shops, organic vegetables and fruit delivery, hotels, resorts. I'm sure you will find it very handy. So it's in your November issue. Today, it's all about our November cover, the handsome couple, and never a dull moment with Nico Bolzico and Solenn Heussaff. I was with them backstage and we were just cracking up. They are one of the most adored and followed families on social media. They are truly a delight to watch, who I think they should actually have their own sitcom. And I'm going to be one for sure going to watch that. They are so likable, relatable, and have no pretenses. Before we speak to Nico and Solenn, we want to shine a light on our countrymen who are affected by the devastating Typhoon Ulysses, which ravaged Luzon. They are in need of our help, actually any help. We at Tatler Philippines have teamed up with Bangon Luzon program here, where you can send cash donation. Any amount will go a long way. Help us spread the word so we may help our fellow citizens who have suffered losses during this very, very difficult time. Okay. Without further ado, please welcome the absolutely gorgeous and multi-talented Solenn Heussaff and the handsome and all-around fun guy, Nico Bolzico.
Hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
We were just cracking up because we were backstage this whole time and Nico hasn't done this enough, obviously. So when you said, hello everyone, welcome, and Nico's like, hi everyone.
Sorry, my bad.
Great, say hi to our viewers.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone, how are you guys?
Thank you for joining us today in our bedroom, in our abode.
Yes, where she gets all the light, and I don't know why the light is not reflected to me, but maybe because I'm tanner.
Well, you know what? First and foremost, thank you for making us enter your bedroom where all the magic happens.
Or no magic at all.
No, there is some magic. There is some magic. I still have some tricks under the box.
Let's start off first with the shoot, which was done in October with the amazing, of course, Mark Nickdow. By the way, thank you so much, guys, for letting us with your story, and first time for Tylan to come out in any magazine, in any publication. Thank you so much. Describe do you have any moments or thoughts that happened in the shoot that you remember?
Actually, it was Tylan's first time outside of the house, and also our first time as a family. Even when she was born, a few photographers came up to me asking to do, the usual baby photos.
Baby, yeah.
Yeah, and the cocoons, and I was like, no, I'm not ready to shoot her. Plus, I wasn't feeling ready myself. So this was very special to the two of us. Of course, just working also with people that we know work amazingly, and we knew that no doubt we didn't even have to check the photos. They would be awesome and in a very safe environment. So it was a very nice first family photo shoot for us. But it's how time flies, because she's 8 there, and then she's gonna be 1 in a month and a half.
Yeah, so fast.
This is one of the only photo shoots where the contrast was so big, in the sense that you see a picture that is so nice and so classy, but if you have a BTS, you have everyone making noise behind the camera to make sure that Tylan looks at the camera. It's like, with birds.
I know, and your beautiful niece was there, right?
Everyone distracting Tylan to make sure that she looks at the camera. Then the pictures looks amazing, but you have the BTS. It's a completely different world.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, how was it like working with Mark Nickdow again? He's amazing, isn't he?
Oh, Mark, actually, the last time he shot me, I was 9 months. Sorry, I didn't reach 9 months. I was like 8 months pregnant. The last time he shot me. So for me, it was first with my baby.
Yes. Mark
you can never go wrong with Mark.
He's simply the best. He's so good, and he's fast. So you would think how can you shoot so fast and so good at the same time, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's great working with her, and he's a friend also, so it's even easier.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna start off with your love story. You guys have been married for 4 years. Okay, so let's making a face now. I'm sure everyone wants to know, how did you guys meet and who fell in love first?
Okay, we always say the same thing, but we always
Okay,
don't agree.
let's answer the second question first. She fell in love first.
I said I love you first, doesn't mean I fall in love.
No, that means you fell in love first. So she fell in love first. She was the one approaching me. She was quite aggressive.
Yeah, because I have balls.
Okay,
Because I'm a modern woman, and if I know what I want, I go for it. So
Yes.
I don't wait for the man to make the first move.
She did.
So I did. I said I love you first also. How did we meet? We met in a club.
Opus.
Bar?
Opus.
Yeah, we met in Opus.
Yeah, but I don't
Opus.
remember the first time I met her because I was a bit
He
tipsy.
doesn't remember the first 5 times.
No, the first three. But because they were not memorable times. We say just meet, say hi, and continuously. The first real time we met, I remember.
You'll remember
For your birthday.
my birthday, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time.
When I turned 26. Oh, so young. I'm 35 now, my gosh.
The first time your eyes met, and was it like sparks, fireworks, everything?
Still no.
No.
Nico wanted to leave the country. So
Yes.
we both weren't looking for anything serious. We both
Yeah.
just wanted to enjoy and have fun. I had ended the relationship. Nico's never really been in one.
No, I've been. Whoa. I've been 3.
Okay, 3.
Serious.
Yeah, so we were both just very relaxed about it, and that's how things kind of fell into place.
Actually, we never thought it was gonna be a long-term relationship.
Yeah, we never thought we were gonna have a baby together. That's for sure.
Or get married, or get a dog, or two tortoises.
So when did you know it was meant? It was that this was the one. You were both each soulmate, or however you want to say it.
Can I answer?
Okay,
Okay. So basically, that's the start, right? We never meant to be together for the long term. We can say that, but 3 months later, she already came to Argentina to meet my parents. We bought an apartment together, so we were living in together.
Wow.
Yeah, it started very oh no, we're not. This is like very chill. But 3 months later, we were both full on already thinking about getting married.
Yeah,
Wow.
it just falls into place. Nothing was forced.
So I introduced three girls to my parents in my whole life, and after 3 months, Solenn was the third.
Wow. And then, because I know you met in 2011. So when did you propose? It was 4 years after. So you've been married 4 years, so 2016, no?
He proposed 2015, 1 year before we got married.
No, 1 year and a half. So I proposed at the end of 2014.
Okay. Where was this, and how did you do it?
So he was very good. Usually Nico is very bad at keeping secrets,
No.
but this time I don't know how he did it. So basically I was going with GMA to Canada, I think, or to the US,
To the US.
to sing with Isa Sigara.
That's a singer.
Okay. And then I was there for 3 days. So I think he fixed everything in 3 days, because I would have noticed something was going on if he had done it while I was in the Philippines. So basically I landed from the US at like 4 in the morning, an early flight. And Nico told me he was going to one of his plants in the province so that he wouldn't be back. So I said, okay, I'll just go to my mom's house. So I went to my mom's house, and then there in the living room, there was like Nico on the TV in a white linen outfit. And I was like, this is really weird. It's 4 in the morning in my mom's house. My mom's telling me to brush my teeth because I came from the airport. And like, something's wrong. And then she played the video.
Okay, let me explain the video. The video might be one of the biggest romantic gestures in the history of the Philippines. Basically, I got videos from all her friends telling me why I should get married to her, and I got videos of all my friends telling her why she shouldn't get married to me. Right?
Should not.
So her friends telling me why, and his friends telling her why not. And then I did a whole super cool collage of her before me, how she was, with a lot of pictures, very unique pictures she never saw in her life. And all her friends, I call her like her party's friends, like everyone, like I know people. I have to go get in touch through her sister, people I didn't know. And then a collage of pictures of me before her also, and then a collage of pictures, the two of us together.
Yeah, it was a very nice 20-minute video where I bawled my eyes
46.
out. Or 46.
It was 46 minutes video. It wasn't a bit too long. It was a bit too long, but it was engaging.
Yeah, and then he
romantic.
said,
She cried a lot.
yeah, and then at the end of the video, he said, if it's not raining, please go to your garden. So I walked outside in the garden, and it was full of white balloons. And then he went on one knee, and then it was romantic, but not, because then my mom was like, wait, my phone, like looking for the phone to film. And then my dad started putting like his background music, but it ended up being like a Gaelic, I don't know, chant or something.
Yeah, like an indigenous from South America, indigenous chanter. Because Louis, her dad loved all those type of music, very cultural. So yeah.
And then I said yes, and then we popped the champagne at like 5:30 a.m. and then that was it.
Wow. That was it. There was no going back.
And of course, we want to go ask about your marriage, which was held in, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Combourg. Is it Combourg? Combourg, France.
I cannot pronounce it, so don't worry, Anton.
So why there? Why did you choose this place? Is this where your family's from?
Well, so actually we had two weddings, which many people probably don't know about, because we went for a civil wedding in 2015. There we go. Oh, it's ready. We went for a civil wedding in Esperanza, where Nico's from. And it was only supposed to be a small gathering, which is why I had like hardly any friends. I had 4 friends there. And my parents decided to come. And then Nico surprised me with his mom and him, surprised me with a surprise wedding, which I entered this venue with 200 people I didn't know, with the first dance I had to do. Good thing I wore a white dress, and it was a massive wedding. So that was our first wedding. And then the second wedding, which was the real wedding in Combourg, was done next to where my dad grew up. So it's not exactly where we're from, which is Brest. We did it somewhere nearby, which is more like also picturesque, has a nicer story, because where we're from, it's all sheep and cows. So we wouldn't have the venue we had. So we just got a very simple, they call it like a small mansion in France. A lot of old families have those houses. And there we fixed everything in under a year. It was 156 people from all around the world, from Argentina, Philippines, France. Only our closest friends. Like I didn't even allow my parents to invite friends of theirs. Like I said, you're only allowed 5 because I wanted to be very quaint. And it was so much fun because we didn't do the typical wedding things. Like we didn't do cutting of cake. We didn't do the first dance with the dad. We didn't do too many speeches because we wanted the people there to just get drunk and enjoy. We didn't want the night to be only about us.
Yeah, we had it was a massive party till 7 a.m.
It was like a frat party.
Yeah.
And I love that burgundy tuxedo, or was it a suit or tuxedo? It was the first time I've ever seen someone getting married in a burgundy tuxedo.
I know.
Well, he can do it all.
Yeah, to be honest, it was out of the blue. It was like, what color should you do? Burgundy. Boom, burgundy.
Burgundy and light blue. Totally light blue. Super beautiful color.
Yes. Of course, I did approve my hair before. I didn't appear with that. She approved it before.
Okay, guys, what are the things that you admire about one another? About being a father, husband, mother, wife. So let's start with Solenn.
So what I appreciate about Nico as a dad?
Yeah. No, now, like, what are the traits that you admire the most of being a father or a husband and so forth?
Well, the thing I love about Nico is that he's never really changed. Like the way I met him is exactly the same way. He treats people really nicely. He treats Filipinos like he's also Filipino. Like he feels more Filipino than Argentinian. He always tries to help when it comes to anything, basically, or advice. And as a dad, he's very much present. Well, he has no choice also, but he is very present. And actually, before Tylan was born, he was already like, he really loves children. Like I love kids, but I like kids that are more in the family. Like I'm not so warm when it comes to many kids in front of me. I get awkward. But Nico, he really has a way with kids. And so back then I already knew he was gonna be an amazing dad. And now seeing him with Tylan, he's really it's just natural to him. He's just the best.
Thank you very much. My turn?
Yeah, but you're gonna get better.
Your turn.
It's better.
Okay. So with Solenn, so there's a lot of things I admire about Solenn, but one of the main ones I would say how humble she is. From the day zero I met her, regardless of her success or who she is, so she's always so humble. She will treat anyone with the same respect. It doesn't matter your position, where you're from, who you are, and that's something for me very very important because it shows what kind of person you are. It's one of the main aspects I want to Tylan to learn, to be humble, respectful, and a good person. So starting by that, and then I think that's one of the reasons. I mean, the main reason why I fell in love with her. But then I saw different levels of Solenn. So I saw Solenn pregnant, that made me discover a complete new side of her because our pregnancy was a bit difficult, and I saw her how brave she was because we have to inject her belly every day. I have to inject it, but it was her belly, and of course the doctor told us the baby was not growing, so she has to overeat, and it was like a really really hard pregnancy, and we didn't enjoy that much during the pregnancy. And I saw Solenn putting Tylan before her body, before her anything. So that was, when I saw Solenn as a mother for the first time, made me feel also a bit useless in that part of our life because I could be there just to support, but my body was not changing. My hormones were the same. I was not suffering on my flesh. I was just supporting her. So she was
Yeah.
the one who took the biggest hit, and she actually did it. I don't think us guys have that. I don't know how you call it, but like we don't have that strength to go through things like that. That's why I think we cannot get pregnant. And then the third Solenn that I met is Solenn as a mom once Tylan was born, and that's already okay. The bad pregnancy memories are behind us, and now you see Solenn taking care of Tylan, super hands-on, waking up at night when she has to. Absolutely, I mean, there is pretty much does everything with Tylan for Tylan, and it's like the education starts now that Tylan is basically since she was born, but I think Tylan will remember how present and how handsome her mom was and how much she loved her because every meal of Tylan is prepared by Solenn, except for some of the bottles, meal bottles that I prepare also. But when it comes to meals, it's 100% of them were prepared by Solenn, and it's really really nice to know that like Tylan might have probably the best mom in the world, and even if one day I'm not here, I know Tylan will be.
You'll be here.
I will be here, but like it's also like, of course, I always will be here. But you always think when you have a baby, like you start thinking about the worst because you love the baby so much that you start worrying about what happens if something happens to me, right? That's a feeling that I have, even if like you don't have to think that way, but when you love someone so much as we love Tylan now, I have that in my head, and I always said, you know what, if I'm not here, still things will still be okay because Solenn is here and she will be enough for Tylan. Yes.
But yeah, you mentioned earlier, great answer, Nico.
Thank you so much.
You mentioned earlier, Solenn, that you had a difficult pregnancy. Why was this so? What happened? I mean, is there a particular name for this, or it was just
Well,
when you had injections?
when it comes to pregnancy, well, I didn't think I was gonna have a problem because I'm healthy as a person. I exercise, I eat right. My mom did have a hard time conceiving back then. So I thought, okay, maybe I might. But once we got pregnant, we tried maybe 6 months only, so we got pregnant right away. And then the pregnancy went well for the first 4 months. And then out of the blue, like they said, I need to eat more. But I said, I mean, I've researched so much and I don't need to eat more. I just have to eat the way I eat. But they were making me eat like 3,000 calories a day, which is more than an athlete, more than a basketball player would eat.
Because the baby was not growing. That was the issue.
Yeah, the baby wasn't growing. So I started overfeeding myself, but forcefully. But obviously I was feeding myself with good stuff. So imagine trying to get all the calories from like kamote and fish instead of drinking like milk tea, It's like, it's way more food that you have to intake. So I was doing that, and then after a month and a half, I was so sure, like I had gained so many kilos, and I was like, okay, the baby's definitely growing. Like I feel her kicking and everything. We went to the doctor, so positive, and then again, they said it's
It was
not.
even worse.
Those are the 5 worst days of my life. Like it felt like it was years. It's just 5 days now when we think about it. When we look back, it was 5 days of like I was crying 24/7. But at the same time, I was trying not to cry because they told me if you feel sad and if you feel stressed, it will bring the stress on the baby, and the more chance they have of losing the baby at 6 months. So it was very difficult. I was angry, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I tried to do everything the doctors told me to do. I prayed, I went to church every day, like I don't know, I did everything in my being. I sat on the couch because they told me I couldn't walk or I couldn't exercise anymore. Like I went from being someone super healthy to like the laziest couch potato, overfeeding myself like crazy. But then things turned around at like I think like 6.5, 7 months. It was already like it was a percentile of growth, so the growth was going up. Like I still had to go to the hospital and do like intralipid infusion to make the baby fat, and then we had to do the long shot many times because we thought maybe I'd give birth at 24 weeks and then 26 weeks and then 34 weeks. So a lot of injections, and then we got to inject my belly every single day at the 5th month until I gave birth. Yeah, it was a crazy roller coaster. I was also in the hospital for 10 days straight bed rest, where like I had to, sorry for the details, but do number one and number two literally on myself. They wouldn't allow me to stand up when I felt good. Like if I felt sick, I would understand that. It was really hard to do that, knowing that I felt 100% like how I feel now.
Yeah.
That was frustrating. And then New Year's, I went in for a final checkup because I was due Jan 14 to Jan 24, and then they said you're not going because the I think oxygen level of my baby was low. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is never ending. So I stayed in the hospital, and then they induced me to try to get the baby out, but they didn't want it out too soon because since I was taking blood thinners, they didn't want me to give birth on the blood thinners or I might overbleed.
Yeah.
So we tried to wait it out in the hospital, and then they induced me 3 times, and then nothing was happening. So then we did C-section at 9:20 a.m. on Jan 1, 2020.
Wow.
That was the best day of my life after all that mess.
And of course, seeing Tylan for the first time and you holding her. And Nico, were you in the operating room as well?
Yes. The moment I stepped in, I started crying, and I couldn't stop crying for the next, 4 hours.
You cried more than me.
I couldn't stop crying. I don't know. It's such an, like everyone tells you, oh, this is a magical moment. It's the most beautiful moment of your life. You say yes, for sure, it is, but you really, in the back of my head, I was, yeah, it might be, but I don't think it's that magical. It's an operation at the end of the day. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
when you enter there, it's a different world. I start crying and crying and crying and crying.
Like ugly face crying, not just
no. Like the doctor was giving me the tissues for the phlegm coming from terrible. and every time and once Tylan was born, like when she came out, I couldn't look at her without crying. So I was like, and I'm not sensitive. Before this.
Never cried.
I only cried for these 4 or 5 days that we had a really bad pregnancy, but before that, I don't remember crying. And after that, now I cry all the time when there is anything related to Tylan.
Yeah. She's a miracle. She's a blessing to you guys, especially with what you guys went through. My goodness. It's the first time I'm hearing this, so I can just imagine what you guys went through. We're going to go back a little bit about your marriage. What's your advice in keeping your relationship strong, and what's your secret?
So there's no secret for us. Trust is the number one. Communication and freedom. Freedom! Well, freedom is very important. Because we know some couples that do everything together. Like they go to restaurants together. If the husband's not available, then the wife can come. For me, that's a bit like of kind of like of a downhill if you start a relationship like that, because you must not forget who you were before you got married, because that's why you fell in love in the first place, because you fell in love with a different individual. But if you end up doing everything together, you become one individual, and then just the romance or anything just nice, because we can't learn anything from one another, like how his day went as opposed to my day. So we still do, like, well, we haven't done it recently, but he still does his trips with his friends, me with my friends. I'll go out when I want to. We just try to schedule dinner, like okay, on Sunday let's have dinner together. So we have dinner together. But it's pretty. I mean, I used to go out a lot before I even got pregnant. He hates clubbing, and I love dancing on tables. So I just kept doing my thing, and then Nico would stay home and sleep, and then there. So I think it's really just being who you are, respecting each other, communicating. So we hardly fight. Like, I think we don't fight. I mean, I can't remember the last time we talk a lot. And now our new thing, since I hate reading, in bed, Nico reads me 5 pages every night of the book he's reading. So I don't have to read. I just listen, like him, like a kid.
Wow.
I don't know if you can
So
say.
yeah, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So he's your audio book.
He's my audiobook. And then we talk about the 3 pages in the chapter and how it resonates with our life,
That
the
is-
day, or we've encountered.
That is great. But you were talking about
like during this
Sorry.
pandemic, I'm sure a lot of people resorted to, just sitting down and watching Netflix and everything. But Nico and I, we literally, I think 1 hour a day max TV.
Gossip Girl.
He loves to watch gossip.
But you were talking about trust issues earlier. You guys are so good looking. Don't you guys get jealous with one another? I mean, if the attention of men or women towards, your spouse or your husband.
Well, for me, I find him good looking.
I mean, look at that body. I mean, who won't be jealous?
Nico. For me, I'm more proud. Like, if someone's sitting on him, I'll probably be a bit jealous, but I'm not jealous enough to go up and be like, "Excuse me, you're talking to my man." No, never. Like, I'll look at the form, I'll be like, she's talking to Nico. But I'll let it be, because I find him good looking, so why wouldn't another person find him good looking? And it's nice to have that. I mean, when you're married, it's nice to also still have that feeling of, oh, I'm still attractive to other people. Like, it's still a good feeling to have.
And I think that the jealousy is a sign of not enough trust in the couple. So because we trust each other so much, there is no reason to be jealous. And that's why it's aligned with what Solenn was saying, that we do things separately. We do things together, and we do things separately. But we also make sure that we spend the time together. So we do dates together. We talk a lot. We have no phone conversations. We do a lot of things. Like in the mornings, we spend our 45 minutes talking, just the 2 of us. The same at night. The same when we have lunch or dinner. I prepare a cappuccino every morning for her. So it's like kind of like we have our rituals that we really appreciate and we really value. But also we have our own things separately that I think is important in any healthy relationship. I mean, I have experience of friends back in Argentina mostly that once they get married, they forget about friends. Like it's either a couple thing or nothing. And we don't see it that way. We see there is a couple thing. Of course, we do most of our things together, but we also have friends, each other that we want to spend time alone with. Like the other day, she went with the girls for like cocktails with the girls. That is fine. I haven't done it with the guys. Okay, I will do it with the guys soon. But you know what? With this pandemic, things are a bit different. Also with Tylan at the same time, it's a bit more difficult to do things separately. But it's about trust. When you trust each other, I think that's the key of every relationship. The moment you break that trust or you do something for the other person to stop trusting you, it's kind of like a domino effect. If one doesn't trust each other, the other, even if the other did it the wrong thing one time, so he lost the trust, but then he's trying to do the right thing, the other person that doesn't trust him will be texting all the time, where are you? What are you doing? And the other person will start getting annoying. So it's going, it's kind of like a growing.
That's why communication is a very big part of this.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so then I know you as we all know you as a Renaissance woman. You can sing, you can act, you can paint, you collaborate with designers, fashion. You have your own line, which we'll speak to about later. What can't you do?
I cannot dance.
You can dance. She can dance.
No, I
I
cannot.
thought you liked dancing on top of tables.
Yeah, I love dancing. Doesn't mean I do it well.
She
Okay.
can dance.
I do it with pride, but doesn't mean I do it well. So
She can dance.
I think dancing is one of the things I can't do, and also I'm not very business minded, so I cannot focus 100% on certain things. I love doing many things at the same time, so it's hard for me to focus. So there, I can't focus.
I will take note on that one.
Yeah, and Nico, I've known you since you got here. I remember meeting you once or twice, and but I don't know anything about you growing up in Argentina. How was it like? Your childhood, your family? I know you said you grew up in a farm. Can you share with us some thoughts on that? And also how did you end up in Manila?
Yeah, so basically, I'm from Esperanza, Santa Fe. Esperanza, it's a very small city, it's maybe 40,000 people. Surrounded by corn, soya, cows, horses. There is not much around it, but nature. It's a lot of nature. It's a lot of horse, and it's not that the nature that like the landscape nature. It's like really flat green areas with cows and crops basically. And we grew up working in the farm a lot. I think that's one of the main lessons in life I got is working in the farm, working with my hands, working with my father. And when you work in the farm, we are all equals, right? No matter who you are with employees, owner, son of the owner, whoever, we are all equal. We're all working in the land, and we all understand that everything we get from nature and from the soil, basically. Everything starts in the soil. Whatever you touch, whatever you do, it started in the soil. So it was given by nature. So that's how it was raised, basically. And that was.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two brothers. They are 52 and 50, so they are
way older.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
older, but they are 17 and 15 years apart. One of them is a dad of Josefina.
Yes.
And Josefina have two sisters, and the other one has also two kids, one boy, one girl. And I have my parents that they visit the Philippines already 4 times, I think, 4 to 5 times. And when I came to the Philippines, I was working for a different company. It's called AFA Press, that I was doing different country reports, and I'm supposed to be here for 4 to 6 months. And then, I met Solenn. But I saw opportunities in business. So, but the real story is, I saw opportunity in business. I closed a deal in an agri project that it was connected to my hometown machineries. I won't get deep on that; it's a bit boring. And that was the first tip to say, like, okay, maybe I should stay here and develop this business. It's agri. There is a lot of need here, and there is a lot of that we know and that we can contribute from home back to the Philippines. So that was one of the things that made me start thinking to stay. But if I wouldn't have met Solenn, I probably wouldn't have stayed, because Solenn was the anchor. And then because I met her, she was the anchor for me to stay. So everything I developed after was because I knew she was here and I was going to be here.
Nice. And so let's go talk about Tylan. Tylan. I keep thinking whenever I read the name, I always say Thylane. So I don't know. So basically, I'm sure everybody's curious, where did that name come from, and does it mean anything?
So Tylan is actually, it's spelled Thylane, but the real spelling of Tylan is Teelahn, which is Vietnamese, and it means wild orchid. Yeah, and actually I took the name from this French model. She was part of one of the most beautiful babies in the world back in the early 2000s. Her name is Tylan. She's a French model, and her mom is the one who made the Vietnamese word French with the spelling. So I've always been obsessed with that name because I always thought it was so beautiful, and I loved that it was a wild orchid.
She is wild. So
yeah, she is wild. So she her. And then we gave her Katana as a second name because, well, she's a fighter. So Katana is the Japanese weapon.
Yeah, it's a Japanese sword, right?
Word,
Yes.
yeah. So that's where the name came from. We actually had a second name for Tylan, but we changed it to Katana like 3 days before her birth because we're like, she needs a fighter name. She's a wild orchid and a fighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And any thoughts about having, of course, children in the future? Are you planning it already, or?
Yeah, we want a second one for sure. We're
Yeah.
not rushing though. Obviously, I want to have it before I'm 38, so I'm 35 right now. But I really want to enjoy this stage with Tylan. I want to give her my attention, and also I don't want, if I have a difficult pregnancy again, I don't want to do it during this time of life.
Lockdown, yeah.
I don't want to have to go to the hospital 7 times a week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe 2 years from now, I think that's our deadline. But we want only 2.
Perfect. From your Instagram account, you guys seem to be so hands-on, taking care of you. Do you have a schedule? Who cooks? Who bathes? Who cleans? Who changes the diapers? Oh, that's so cute. Look at that photo. Is there a system to your rearing Tylan?
Actually, when the pandemic first started, we had one help. Her name's Jonah. So she does everything around the house. So she was the one cooking for us, and cleaning the house. So it was just me and Nico hands-on with Tylan. So basically, since I'm waking up at night, Nico gets her in the morning when she wakes up at 5:30 or 6, and he has his time with her until 10. So they play, they have breakfast, he feeds her a bottle, changes the diaper if there's number 2s or.
No, I changed the diaper for sure.
Yeah.
From the whole life. And then I do. She takes morning naps all the time.
Yeah.
So,
After the morning nap, then it's my turn until around 4 or 5 p.m. So that's when I do her. I play with her, prepare her meals, read to her. Like she's with me all day. And then at 5 p.m. with Nico, we walk around the village with the dog and Tylan. And then we come back and then we swim in our little inflatable pool. This is the routine since March. And then I put her to bed at 7 p.m.
No,
and Nico reads her first.
No, there is 45 minutes that she listens to Argentinian music with me. So reggaeton, cumbia, while she takes a shower.
Yeah, and then when I'm done with my shower, I get Tylan. It's usually 6:30. I bathe her. So I've given her every single bath, every single meal since she's born.
I read her.
Yeah, I bathe her. He reads her the book, and then I put her to sleep. And then same day, different day.
That's amazing. And speaking of your pets, how is she with all your pets? I mean, I know we all love your pets because I think you were the first one to have a turtle as a pet, and I think everybody followed you, Nico. and Pachola has become so famous. Wait, I'm so curious. What breed is she, and how come she doesn't follow you? Seem to be following you guys. That's so cute.
Yeah. So basically, so Pochel is an American Akita. So Akitas are Japanese. I don't know if you watched the movie Hachiko.
Yes.
So Hachiko, there is actually this sculpture. How do you call it? Sculpture of Hachiko
Statue?
Statue in Tokyo. So the Americans got the Akitas, the bigger of them, and they crossbreed it to make them bigger. So it's basically an American Akita. So Pochel is right now maybe 60 kilos. And she's very loyal. She's very chill, but she's also very lazy.
Clumsy and lazy.
So when she's laying down, to make her stand up, it's really a process. Like right now, if I show you, let me show you.
You won't be. She's just laying down.
There she is.
Pochola.
There, not active at all.
That's it. And then she's gonna stretch. She's gonna say, "Why are you bothering me?" And she will go back to sleep. So basically, but she's very loyal and she loves Tylan. She's very protective with Tylan, but we're always very careful. She's still a dog, right?
At the end of the day, she's an animal.
So whenever Tylan is close, it's either I'm close enough or Solenn is close enough. We don't let them alone.
But the question is, how's Tylan with animals? So Tylan is very good because we have a massive, like a freaking wolf in the house. She loves every animal and she is not afraid. Like no matter the size, no matter how loud it's the bark. She's just like barking after, like when a dog barks, she goes, ow, ow, ow. She barks after the dog. She like runs in the air with her feet because she just wants to get closer.
She chases the cat all the time. We have, El Gato.
Gato,
She
yeah.
chases El Gato all the time. El Gato is super afraid of Tylan. Super afraid. When she approaches, El Gato goes away. And she goes like, ah! Because she gets so excited. So you can tell she loves animals. The tortoises, she's allowed to see them, but because we read that they can have salmonella or I don't know,
Yeah,
Solenn read something and now we believe that she shouldn't touch the tortoises just in case. But she look at them while I feed them every morning, so she sees how they have breakfast, and then that's it. We have no more.
That's it.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward, and I can't wait to bring Tylan to a horse. That would be super great.
I'm sure soon. So how will you guys be spending the holidays? The first Christmas as a family together. What are your plans?
So the original plan before 2020 was since we didn't go to Argentina last year because I was pregnant, we said we would go this year so that his parents could meet Tylan. And we were going to baptize her there and spend her first birthday there as well. But it's a bit scary to fly right now with kids, so we're staying again for Christmas. So it's just going to be me, Nico, and my parents because my sister apparently isn't coming from Singapore as well because if she does come, there's like a 2-week quarantine in Singapore with kids. It must be like a nightmare. And then Erwan and Anne, I don't think they're coming home anytime soon as well because there's 0 cases in Australia. So it doesn't make sense for them to move here. There's kids every day. So it's gonna be a weird Christmas because we've never been separated. We've never been apart for this long. And Nico, it's his 2nd year in a row where he's not going to see his family.
So the first time in my life I didn't spend Christmas in my house with my family in Esperanza was when Tylan was born last year. So this will be the 2nd one in my life in a row. So yeah, it's a bit. It's a bit weird, but we cannot complain. I mean, we are still very privileged. We have food, we have a roof, we have family, we have health, we have safety. So, I mean, we're thankful. We're very, very thankful, especially because we see how the situation is around. So, it won't be the Christmas we wanted, but we're happy.
Yeah. So what are your hopes and dreams for Tylan for, with the craziness that the world is going through? What is your wish for her?
Well, I hope she grows up, in a world that's more conscious of the things that are happening. I hope she grows up in a world where their generation will make the difference and not repeat the mistakes that our generation and the past generations have done. I hope climate change won't be getting worse, but being fixed by this new generation. Of course, I just hope for her to have the best life ever and to travel the world and be humble and meet people and love what she wants to love and do the things she wants to do. I mean, she's gonna have real character. This girl.
Yeah, but there is a circle of influence and it's a circle of concern. From our circle of influence, what we want for Tylan is for her to be a good, humble person. That's all we want. We want to give her any opportunity when it comes to education, but we want her to be a good person, humble, and to understand the value of hard work. That's it. Then if she wants to be an astronaut, or if she wants to be a farmer, or if she wants to be a doctor, it will be her choice. That's what we can influence, right? What we can control. What we cannot control, we can contribute, but no control is, the environment, this environmental crisis we're going through, and all those things. That, to be honest, since Tylan was born, affect us much more because we know that the generation that will be affected about this environmental crisis, of course, it's us, but at the end of our life. But them, Tylan's generation will be the ones that will be suffering the most for what is happening now or for the mistakes we are making now. So I think we are both much more sensitive when it comes to the environment and to, when you see crazy things going on in the world, you say it really affects us much more in that sense. So hopefully we have hope. We believe that every change starts from ourselves. You cannot expect to change the world if you don't change yourself first. So, trying to contribute as much as possible and trying to inspire in a way as much as possible, spread awareness. Hopefully, we see a lot of people that is also looking to change, and people who is creating awareness. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good things, so it's not all negative. There's a lot of positive, and I think there's more and more positive things coming up and going on. So I think we should also focus on those, because those will be the ones that will make the change. If we focus only on the bad news and all the things that's going on, it won't be any difference. We need to focus on the good things that is happening and try to help and contribute from our place. So if we all think like that, things will turn to the right direction. And it's not too late.
Yes. Very well said. Let's talk about your current endeavors. Solenn, how has being a mother impacted your career choices in art, your showbiz projects, your maternity line? How is that coming along? Any new collections? I remember you were telling me that you were going to have an exhibit this year, but you had to move it. So what's happening with your career?
So basically, well, right now my whole showbiz career is on halt because when it comes to movies or TV series, it's all lock-in taping, and it's something I don't want to do. Actually, I don't think I want to do TV series anymore. Maybe movies in the future when I can go for the day, but if I have to stay 10 days on set and be away from Tylan at this stage, I refuse to. I started shooting Case Buddies, my show again, but now I still get to shoot from home, since that's the reality of a lot of people. Some are working, but some are also working from home. So I covered that whole side of this 2020. But since I've been home, I've been also working on a project which I'll be launching next year, which I can't really share. But for this year, I am doing the third collection of the Katana line. So it's breastfeeding. We started with one collection in July, and it did pretty well. And then the second one, Pop, just came out 3 months ago. That's Pop collection. And then we're launching now the Nurture collection, which is probably first week of December will be out. So that's, keeping
Are these one of the photos now? This is the line?
Yes. So this is the breastfeeding line for Pop. Because when I was pregnant and also breastfeeding, I didn't know what to wear because I had nothing. All my things were crop tops, and I didn't have any button downs, and I was just too big to fit in anything. But I refused to buy new clothes because I was like, why am I gonna buy clothes for just 2 months? So this whole line was inspired by that. So it's all stretchy fabrics. You can use it, but whether you're normal or pregnant or breastfeeding, like everything just kind of falls into place. It's really comfortable to be in. I live in them. Like right now, you see me wearing the stuff, but my bottom is not the same.
It looks beautiful. So that's available where and where can you buy it?
Actually, we're sold out, so they just have to wait
Wow.
for the yeah, which is coming up the first week of December. We have the Nurture line.
Congratulations.
Breastfeeding. Thank you. And then for my exhibit, I haven't had the time to paint since I'm 100% with Tylan, but I will start painting by mid-December and having someone babysit her because my exhibit has moved to March with Modeka Gallery. So I didn't want to. Thank you. I didn't want to push through with an exhibit with social distancing, but this is how things are at the moment, and I cannot wait 2 years to do one. So March we're gonna push through with the exhibit, and then people can just go by appointment to see the art. Art is very nice for the soul, and you get to relax, and you kind of get to get out of the little bubble of yours. So I think people will love this.
I'm a proud owner of one of Solenn's paintings, so I'm really happy with that. Solenn, and all of you it girls, George, Belle, Liz, Anne, you've evolved from it girls to it moms now. So when you guys get together, or you're in Zoom, or you're talking to each other, I mean, are you laughing about it? I mean, is it of course part of the course, but then are you sharing motherhood experiences?
Well, actually, so I've seen them a few times, but I have to admit that during this whole quarantine, like I think everyone's just busy trying to manage the house. So I don't think I've spoken to them as much as people may think. Right now, since I have moms on the ground, I have 9 friends that are half Filipino, half French, and we grew up together since childhood. We all gave birth between 1 to 2 months apart. So we all trust each other. We all know that we're being careful. So we try to organize play dates because at the end of the day, it's not for us anymore. It's more we need them to have human contact with people that aren't 45 or 35 or they need to see little people of their age. So I've been seeing a lot more of my childhood friends. And then Anne, I talk to her at least every week, Anne, because we Skype also with Dahlia. I mean, Tylan and Dahlia, we're just so excited for them to meet because their personalities are kind of similar. They're like cheeky and makulit, and we just can't wait for them to meet. So we have them we have them video chat a lot. So I've been seeing and talking to Anne more than I have when she used to live here because Anne is so busy. I mean, she was like working 7 days a week, 7 projects per day. So now that she's like taking a step back and really, she's full-time mom in Australia and does everything also and sleeps in the same room with Dahlia. I've gotten to be with Anne a lot more online via Zoom. And then Belle moved to Hong Kong. George is in Papua New Guinea. So we Skype every now and then, but Skype is so old school. Sorry, we video chat every now and then. And then I'll just wait for them to come back. But I haven't seen them this whole year.
Yeah. Great. Nico, your turn. How is business? How is your Bolzico beef, your Chingolo deli, your agribusiness? How's it going?
Yeah, so depends on which one you want to focus. I have different answers. So let's start with the one that everyone knows. So that one, so we opened the restaurant with everyone. So when we opened Chingolo in January, for the first 2 months, the restaurant was full all the time. Lunch and dinner, 2 seats, and you have reservation for the next 30 days. So if you want to eat
Chingolo, good for you.
For the next 30 days. After that, end of March, so 3 months were great. It was incredible. And after March, of course, the pandemic hit. So, we went all to quarantine. We have to close Chingolo as a restaurant, but we turned it into more a butchery, right? So right now we're distributing beef, we're doing a lot of, so we have FDA approval, so we can do beef tapa, we can do salpicao. We're doing a lot of dishes, all based on Bolzico beef. And it's doing really well. I think this month was already reaching same levels as before. And we replaced the restaurant with distribution mostly. So we're still distributing to restaurants, we're still distributing to online pages, and we're also distributing cooked food. So it's actually doing well. We went through a hard time, but we managed and we were able to keep everyone. We didn't let anyone go. We were very happy, and with everyone we have meetings all the time.
That's good.
We can do, and we have Sigi, that is our girl on the ground, that is really someone that is managing the operation. So it's doing really, really well. Really happy with that now. And then the agribusiness, we have feed, we have genetics, we have different. Some of them are having a harder time. We move a lot of volumes from Mindanao to Visayas to Luzon, and logistics are becoming hard. Collections are becoming also challenged. So some of them are suffering a bit. We're surfing the wave. At the end of the day, this year we want to survive. And of course, we want to protect the people. That's the most important aspect, is to keep everyone as much as possible and to protect their source of income, because everyone who's the company has a family, so it is our main priority. So yeah, and then we have on the side, of course, we have a Rebel app and all those things that Rebel app is doing great. It's incredible.
How many subscribers do you have now?
So I think right now we're 150,000.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So it's really I think we're still number one. We were number one for 30 days straight. It's great. It's everyone and I are the ones who you see, but behind we have a great team led by our CEO, that is Gilles. So it's actually doing really great, and it's a product that we're really happy because we see it is free and it will be free, and it basically adds so much value to people. Imagine giving you a way towards a healthier life, but from fitness to meditation, stretching, food,
food.
everything. It's like a 360, and it's available. There is it's information that you might find in the internet, but it's all scattered. Here, what we did, we put it all together with quality videos, original videos from local coaches. That's another thing that is also great. Is every coach there is a Filipino coach that is also show how great and how much talent there is in fitness here in the Philippines. So kind of like tick all the boxes on how when you're part of a project that makes you proud also. So it's kind of like it's really nice. It's very, very good. So that's also one of the reasons why I stay in touch with everyone a lot. We have meetings with that, but we have Jill, our CEO, managing, and everyone is more involved than me in this, because when it comes to the food and all that, he's the expert. The what to eat, how to eat. Me, I'm not very strict on what I eat. That's what I need to do. So yeah, all in all, I cannot complain. It's a tough time to be an entrepreneur. These are the times that you need to be resilient. You need to surf the wave, survive, take care of your people as much as possible without, you taking care of your people without, killing the company, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to maintain as many people as possible and take care of their families. And it's now when you start really asking yourself why you're doing what you're doing and what is your vision and your mission. Is it, if you're here just to make money, or you're here to make a difference? And that's I think what is making us moving through. Is like, every agri project we have is for food sustainability in the Philippines. And I think the pandemic shows how important that is. And that's one of the reasons why we keep pushing. And sometimes the numbers are not that relevant when you have that in mind. So summarizing, hard times, pretty stressed, but thankful and happy, and I think we're gonna make it through.
Nico, I must commend you for your success, because I was telling you this in our shoot. I said there are very few foreigners that make it in the Philippines, and people, Filipinos love and adore you. You have endorsements. I was just looking at your BDO endorsement and all these. I think you're in Head and Shoulders. I don't know other things that I've seen, and I being here for the longest time, I see it like there's very few foreigners that have made it. And how do you feel about this? I think people love you as you are, for your humor, for your looks, for whatever.
So it's something that I think I will never get used to. It's first, my friends in Argentina, they don't understand what's going on, because if you would see where I'm coming from, it's very far from any endorsement or any social media aspect. But I'm super thankful. I think it's something that I always repeat, how much love I receive from the Filipinos in general, and that's why I feel like I'm Filipino, right? I feel Philippines as home. I don't feel as a foreigner anymore. I feel like I'm here, and I will be here. My wife is Filipina, my daughter is Filipina, so I'm Filipino. I'm part of the Philippines, and I'm proud of it. And I'm happy to say it. I always said that the Philippines gave me so much, not only from endorsement and all those aspects, but also like, I don't know, when it's your birthday. When it's your birthday, the amount of love I receive, it's really overwhelming. It's really, really great. So I'll be thankful to the country my whole life. And I never get used to any of these things, because it's been only 3 years if you think about it. I think one aspect that it's pretty why I really connect with Filipinos is I really believe that Argentinians or South Americans in general, Filipinos are not that different in their personalities, in their culture, in the way of it's very family oriented, a lot of always very noisy, always around food, and at the end of the day, I think one aspect that I maintain is, if you ask Solenn how she met me and what you see today in social media, there is no difference. It's I think the authenticity and being who you are, and making not taking yourself too seriously. At the end of the day, if I think of an objective with Instagram, for example, is I want to make people smile. I want someone to smile and feel better at this for a little bit. So with that in mind is what we post. And a lot of people ask me like, oh, but you're a businessman. Don't you feel you are making a bit ridiculous of yourself, or like how do you... It's who I am. I'm always making jokes. I've been pranking people my whole life since I'm 6 years old, and there's nothing to hide in any of the sides. So, but when we do business, I'm serious, right? So I can sit down and have discussion and be serious, but I can also, I like to be who I am and share it. So I think that's everything that happened. I think maybe that's what because I don't have any talent. If you think about it, like if someone asks me, "Whoa, how do you get 1.5 million followers?" I just marry an actress in the Philippines. Yes, that's how it's. I mean, that's the truth. Is I married Solenn, and then everything followed. But without marrying Solenn, nothing would have happened. So it's basically that's because it's a lot of people funny as me everywhere. My friends are super funny. I mean, I'm the funniest of all my friends. I'm the most funny. I'm the funniest of my friends, that's for sure. But a lot of people like you could say, what's the difference between them and me? Is when you add in to the equation that I married Solenn. So that we need to remember that also. And I don't have any talent. I don't sing. I don't dance. I don't paint. I don't draw. I don't do anything well. It's just
He's very intelligent.
I'm very
intelligent and very charming. Okay, we're ready to play our game. Do you have the paper and pen and marker with you now?
Yes. Wait. Can I have a marker?
I gave you one. It's on top of your thing.
Okay, this is gonna has to be super fast because. So
wait. I know.
Okay.
Wait, I'll give him another marker because you lost a marker. Just put on his thing 2 seconds ago. It's there.
It's on the floor.
Okay.
Okay. So both have to answer really fast and then show it on the screen at the same time. Okay, ready? What's your spouse's least favorite body part?
Of him or of myself?
No, you both answer. Yeah, but your spouses. So you answer for Nico and Nico will answer for you.
Oh, shit.
Least favorite. 1, 2, 3. Show. Toes. Shoulder muscle.
What?
Huh?
You please go. Look, it's uneven. Your shoulder. It's the thing you hate the most about yourself.
What I hate most about myself, or what I hate the most about her?
No, what's her least favorite part of her body?
Okay.
Least favorite part of her body. What does she hate the most about her body?
Yeah, that's the toes.
Oh, it's toes, correct.
That means you hate me because you're hating me. Okay. Nico's shoulder muscles. Thanks for that.
I feel my shoulder muscles are too. I don't know.
I know. He thinks it's uneven, and he's so focused. Like every time he exercises, he's like, "Look at my shoulder." I'm like, "Your shoulder is fine." He's like, "No, look at my shoulder. It's uneven." So I'm right.
I didn't really think about it. I don't hate them, but I feel I'm too strong. Okay.
Next question. When your partner was a child, what did they want to be when they grew up? So when Solenn was a child, what did she want to be? When Nico was a child, what did he want to be? 1, 2,
Wait.
3.
No, wait. Give me
No,
5
no.
seconds.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Got it. Singer.
Yes, you're right.
Singer, correct. Did you want to be Leo Messi?
You're messy.
Of course, a football player.
Until today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I want, but that's something that I dream with. I have no the talent to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. That's
Okay.
my dream. Yeah.
Usually when you're a kid, you don't dream about talent. You
Yeah.
dream just about whatever you want to be.
Next question. Which country he or she would like to visit, would love to visit?
Visit or
Travel. We'd love to go next, like your next travel ever. Australia, Italy. Is that correct? Solenn,
For me,
you want to go to Italy?
I've been there already.
Australia? Yes, it's correct.
Yeah, Nico's never been
Okay.
to Australia.
It's correct.
And I keep telling him it's so him. It's
Yes,
fitness,
yes,
it's
exactly
mountains,
correct.
it's city, it's a river.
Okay, next question. What was the childhood nickname of your spouse?
I don't think I just put the same. I think I'm wrong.
Nico.
Yeah.
What was your-
I never have a nickname. It was always Nico.
Okay.
But I think it was hers.
Free
Oh,
Willy?
Free Willy. Yes, because I used to be really big, and the guys of my classroom were super mean to me, and they called me Free Willy and Shamu because I resembled.
Wow, that was mean. It's a mean
Yeah.
thing to say. Okay,
Kids
next
can be
question.
very mean.
Very mean. What's your spouse's least favorite household chore?
Where's chore?
Like things like cleaning or like,
Work to do.
So then, wait.
hurry.
1, 2, 3. Everything. Dishes.
Nico doesn't touch household chores ever.
What?
What do you do?
What?
What do you do? Chores in the house.
What?
Tell me what you do.
All the bottles of Tylan.
That's not sure. Cleaning her bottles.
All the bottles of Tylan.
That can be your least favorite.
I
because that's
pick
the only
up.
thing
No, I pick up the dish from the table every time.
Yeah, but you don't hate it.
Eh?
You don't hate it. Your least favorite household chore.
Okay. For Solenn is the pets.
To
No.
clean
Yeah,
up
you
the-
do nothing.
I don't do anything
She
for
does
that.
nothing for the pets. The pets are 100% responsibility. On top of Tylan, I walk the pets, I feed the pets, I comb the pets, I wash the pets.
Yes, he does everything with the
Yes.
pets because I do everything with the house. That's
Oh,
different.
okay. Sounds like a good balance there. Next question. When was the last time your spouse cried?
Mm,
1, 2, 3. Nico, Jan 15. And Solenn?
Remember when you were holding Dylan by the window and you were just crying? Were you crying? She's just so special.
Yeah, I didn't remember it was Jan 15. So I didn't finish, but it's Solenn is when she was talking about her pregnancy. You were talking about your pregnancy, you cried.
Yes.
No, you're wrong. I cried watching the video of the Father's Day that you made me. And you cried and you cried watching the video of Mother's Day.
Okay.
I made her a super cool video. And she cried.
Great.
After Father's Day, she made me a super cool video.
True.
And I cried. So Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Okay, we're both wrong.
You're both wrong. Okay, what next? What is your favorite, his and her favorite smell? Favorite, huh? Not. Okay, Nico's is steak on
Grill.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
I love the taste. It's not how you spell it.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong. That's why I show you very well. Cinnamon.
Is it correct though? Is it correct? Cinnamon?
I think it's the smell I
You
like
love
the most.
every time there is cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
I like the smell of cinnamon. I don't think I have a favorite scent actually.
Yeah, the one that you put every night.
No, that's soft blossom.
And you know which one is mine?
No. Cinnamon.
No. Green, the one that you sprayed.
Oh yeah, but
What's the name I put?
Huh? I forgot how you call
Rainy
it.
Days. I call it Rainy Days.
No, because I'm launching a line of scents for the rooms, and I had Nico name them. So I've been trying them every night in the room, and then making him name it. So he has his favorite.
Can you show her?
But we're both wrong.
We're gonna look out for that one. Okay, next question. We have 3 more. What does your partner fear the most?
Okay.
Wow, it's long, huh? Oh.
Yes, it's
Yes.
the same. I put here, so I typed because I'm using the same paper. Anything, Tilly.
Yeah,
Anything that can happen to Tilly.
Accidents with Tilly.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next question. Which part of the body, his or her body, is he or she most ticklish and sensitive? Neck.
Yeah.
Correct? No?
None.
None.
He's not ticklish. He's not ticklish.
I am not very ticklish. Actually here,
Okay.
Just my boob.
like the ribs. I would say my ribs.
Okay, last question. Last question. What is in his and her Christmas wish list?
Um, I'm gonna say we don't do Christmas gifts.
Oh, you don't?
No, what we do for the last 6 years, we put the money in a box and then we give it to charity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we only give gifts to like below 7 to my nephew.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some, but the adults we don't. Yeah.
Something for Tilly. Okay.
Yeah, the adults we don't. We haven't given each other gifts in a very long time. I can't remember.
That's great.
I mean, he gave me diamond earrings for my push present.
But good job. Okay, guys, that's we're gonna get some questions from the audience. We're gonna take at least 5 questions, and thank you guys for hanging in there. Thank you for joining us. You're still there, right? Okay. Any questions? Okay, from Aura Ocampo Dulay. What advice can you give to soon-to-be first-time parents? Any specific preparations as a couple?
I don't think you can be prepared enough because at the end of the day, every baby is different. And really, when they say parental instincts just kick in, they really just kick in. Like, I was researching and reading all these books and then panicking because there's so much information that I couldn't remember anything. And I was panicking before she came out because I'm like, I'm going to be a terrible mom. I don't know where to start. But the moment she's out, it's really like, it's crazy how it just happens. So for me, maybe just take a first aid class just in case, because when an accident happens, you freeze up as a parent, you panic. So I think it's good to have that in mind, right? Like a first aid class.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And the second is enjoy it every day.
Yeah, be present.
Yeah, be present, and even though you see us, a lot of in Instagram, and sometimes I do mornings with Tilly Balls, all those things with the phone, I do it very fast, but enjoy time with your baby with no phone whatsoever.
Yeah, no
I think
digital.
like the fulfilling that you will get by just being with them at any age, from when they're born, that you're just next to them, or until now that she's almost 1 and she's a rascal, she's all everywhere. I think being really there, present, it's really for fulfilling. And again, every experience is different. Go, enjoy it. Everything's gonna be fine. We were freaking out. We have no idea how to be parents, and at the end of the day, nature it really gives you any single tool that you will need to be a good mother. In this case, she's a mother, yeah, Aura.
Yes.
So yeah, she
Okay.
will be fine. Enjoy it.
Oh, well, we want to say hello to Tina Cuevas, Roseanne Belmonte, and Marianne Po. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Lucky Guerzon, will you be strict with Tylan when she grows up? Will El Padre be blocking suitors?
We will be strict in the sense where we will guide her. I mean, I wouldn't say strict. We're not gonna let her do. Of course, I want her to do what she wants, but with guidance. Like there are things that, I mean, if she's unrespectful of something, then I will tell her you cannot do this. But if she does everything with respect,
humble a good person.
then
humble good person, her work.
Then we will allow her to do things. But obviously, like strict in the sense, like let's say she wants to start going out or sitting in her friend's house all the time, we will put some limits, obviously, because that's how you form an adult. It starts from a very early age. So if you're too relaxed in the beginning, it will be very hard to manage the whole teenager side. So we will be very careful. We will give her freedom, but we will also guide her in the right direction.
Yeah, and the second part of the question, if El Padre will be blocking suitors, 100%. Every single suitor will have a super, super hard time, no matter who is.
For sure. From Orange Cordero, for Nico, do you have an agriculture-related project that you'd really love to do but haven't done yet?
I love to do everything related, getting any waste, agricultural waste, and turn it into something valuable. We're doing that with the chicken feathers, for example. With the chicken feathers, and we turn it into feather meal that is really a lot of proteins that is used to produce feeds for fish, aqua feeds, right? So basically, I see the Philippines needs a lot of help with everything related to waste. So anything that comes to getting the waste out of the way of the people or the Philippines, and more important, turn it into something valuable. And on the way of doing that, you give jobs. That's something that really makes me fulfillment. Actually, we talk with all the brands we work that we always want to work on that, on being able to do anything recycling. But it's not even recycling because you're upgrading it, right? You get waste and you make it something valuable. So that's
are you saying you get chicken feathers and give it to fish to eat?
Yeah, so basically you get the feathers of the chicken that today are buried and contaminated as much as plastic. We get them for free. We process them. It's a process called hydrolyzation, and then we have to dry it and we make it in powder form and we make it digestible. And that is one of the raw materials that is used to produce feeds for fish, so aqua feeds.
Wow,
We
interesting.
have that in Cagayan de Oro. So those are the most fulfilling ones.
Yeah, good job. From Gel Lagrimas, do you still get to find quiet, romantic moments with just the two of you alone after Tylan was born? How do you make the most of it?
Yes, usually our time is 7 p.m. So when she's asleep, usually she sleeps almost 12 hours now. So that's our time to like have a glass of wine outside. And also in the mornings, we really we let her stay with our help, and we have our 45 minutes of like just drinking our coffee outside again, just to talk about things. But yeah, it's a little hard when you're super hands-on because you're always thinking about her. But it is important to do it and to not think that you're being selfish if you want to just get out of the house and be alone for a bit.
Yes.
Very important also.
And how do you make the most of it? Again, it's the same answer I gave before.
Phones aside.
Phones aside. Remove the phones, put them away, and be there. You will get, like, in 30 minutes, you can get a lot. I mean, conversations and
yes.
And you can enjoy, you can be present there with your partner. I think it's very important.
It's true. Alex Aliligay, nutrition diet tips for babies same age with Tylan.
Well, for nutrition right now, all I'm doing is basic goods we have. So I did a lot of the vegetables. And then now it's only now that I'm starting to introduce meat, chicken, lamb. I started first with vegetables and then fish, and then now it's meat and lambs. And I mean, if you just steam everything like you're supposed to do for babies and then add herbs for flavoring, then that's a very clean diet how us adults should be eating actually. There, and then I give her some cheese sometimes and some bread, but it's a good balance of a bit of carbs, healthy carbs, vegetables, and protein.
Great. Okay, we have our last question. Do we have a last question? Mir Ponce, complete this sentence. Solenn Nico is my blank, but Tylan is my blank. That's a good way to end.
So Nico is my world, but Tylan is my life.
Okay, Nico.
I think Solenn is the love of my life, and Tylan is everything in my life.
No, she's in love with your life. So you're so in love with her.
Yeah, but she's more than that.
Yeah, Tylan is like, Nico's so in love with her.
Yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love with Tylan, and I think she's in love with me. Yes, she will.
For sure. Thank you guys so much. That's it for our episode of Tatler Talks for tonight. We hope you enjoyed and get to know Nico, Solenn, and Tylan a bit more. Again, the magazine is available to download for free on Magster, or if you prefer print, like me, please contact Mark at Tatler Philippines. Hey, so any parting words from you guys?
Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that those who can help are helping at the moment. I hope that those who have been through hard times are recovering. I hope we learn from the things that have happened this year. I hope we do not forget. So you know what I mean about that. And that we do the right decisions in the future. And again, I just hope that everyone is focused on being healthy and staying at home and respecting the people around, by also not forgetting to wear your mask and to be clean and neat, so that we stop this bloody thing up.
Yeah, so to add to that more, to you, Anton, and to Tatler, thank you so much for the opportunity to be in the cover. We're actually the cameo for Tylan, because this is Tylan's cover, it's not our cover. So thank you so much for that opportunity. So very thankful, and for everyone else, we're having. I think everyone is having a hard year. I think 2020 is a year we will all remember, probably not for the for good reasons, but there is still a lot of things that are positive. There is a lot of things that we can do, and I believe that there is hope. We need to start changing things by changing ourselves, changing how we live our life, and changing how we dispose our garbage. And like I believe that also we need to be thankful every day we wake up. Be thankful to have food, to have a roof, to have a family, to have health.
Exactly. Yes.
A really hard time today. We can see people in Tuguegarao or people in Marikina. They lost everything, and we always try to help, or help as much as we can, but we also need to remember that we are the lucky ones, and hopefully everything gets better, and we pray and keep them in our prayers. And of course, thank you also for Tatler, because we know you guys do a lot for them. There is you're always very active when it comes to helping people. So that's one of the reasons why we love to be part of your cover of your magazine, and also whenever you call us, we were here, because we know how much you guys also do for the Philippines here.
Thank you guys so much. And well said, well said. Thank you so much. We'd like to remind you, if you would like to help out, again, our countrymen, please donate to Bangon Luzon, or there are other charities out there that one can give. So we hope you do so. And of course, with a cheerful heart. Please save the date for our next Tatler Talk on December 1, where we will speak on the future of travel with Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat and CEO of Beautiful Destinations, Jeremy Johnsey. That's it. Thank you guys again. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Solenn.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening. God bless. And get a copy. Remember to do good. Be nice to everyone. See you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.